Hello, sup guys! Welcome to a new WoW video. Today I wanted to talk about a World of Warcraft feature introduced back in Warlords of Draenor and has by now evolved into the system we have today, Timewalking. I wanted to talk about it for two reasons. First of all, we're in the middle of a month in which in World of Warcraft we have consecutive weeks of it, each week with different expansions. Second of all, because it was mentioned in the recent interview game director Ion Hazzikostas did at Bellulargaming. After two expansions or so since Warlords, Timewalking has caught up with the expansion in which it started, and has expanded its scope aplenty. Not only just a bonus activity to get some gear of normal raid item level, it is now the best and quickest way to gear up new hulls, and the source for quite a few mounts, not to mention max out old reputations, or relieve old raids. In general, the weekly schedule of Timewalking has been quite neat till now, but the expanding of the system, including 5 expansions worth of dungeons and of weeks, started to make harder to aim at specific rewards or reputations, and in general in the interview Ion said himself there are plans to consolidate Timewalking. Now, what that could entail? There are various ways to do so, but in my opinion the whole weekly event system is showing its weaknesses, especially when it comes to very specific events such as Timewalking or the pet battles events. There are various solutions, but they all boil down to either remove some events from the schedule or consolidate them. Removal seems out of the question, with maybe pet battles events as an exception, but then everyone likes different things. There is no need to remove toys. What then could be the solution? It is my honest opinion that it will be to create 2 or 3 parallel cycles. As it stands, we have a weird and not really regular schedule of events that alternate PvP and PvE, world quests and pet battles in a seemingly random fashion, made even more chaotic this last month thanks to the Timewalking being moved on a weekly back-to-back schedule. And while the schedule as it stands is laid out on the calendar, it still makes it hard to follow and plan around it, as it feels indeed very random. To add to that, there's also the issue that for many players at a time, there's little to do often for weeks at a time in regards to this system. As mostly casual PvEer with an halt-holidays problem, Timewalking and the current dungeon events are those that fairly interest me the most, since they give me a reason to dust off those alts and quickly gear them up, or just pop some dungeons with friends. The PvP events such as skirmishes and or battlegrounds events, not to mention the brawls, instead see me completely uninterested. Conversely, I would imagine most PvPers are with no interest whatsoever on low-level dungeons and rewards, and will be better served with more regular skirmishes and battleground events. There's also the matter of time, and Timewalking in particular is very harmed by it. While having extended periods of time without bonus rewards for a certain activity, such as mythic dungeons, battlegrounds or pet battles, is an annoyance, that annoyance is furthered when normal rewards for an activity are completely unobtainable outside of that narrow week-long window in which they are turned on. I've had friends having to wait months in order to finally purchase a mount from a specific Timewalking event, or conversely to grind out the Timewalking dungeons in order to not have to wait for literally months before getting a chance to buy it. Same goes for toys or transmogs. An easy workaround would be to keep the vendors always available, of course, and that should happen regardless, in my opinion. But the gear drops from time walking configures itself as a bit above heroic dungeons, but lower than actual base mythic dungeons, and no need for high level to access the queue. Given the nature of work quests, and the fact most of the last patch's content without at least some gear is painful to overcome, time walking also fills a gap for newly capped characters who can't queue for heroic or need to climb the world quest high level, with something good pays to do, without the issue also of high level to be reached. Of course, that's also without mentioning its value for leveling. This all to say, nothing be wrong with keeping the time walking as is and being this last month scheduled twice, with perhaps the mythic dungeons, event and work quests thrown in to break it, while the PvP events, skirmishes, brawls and battlegrounds could follow their own schedule in parallel, so to give both PvE and PvP players something to do, or more to do for players who do both, and more often. So what do you think? Is this a viable alternative? Is there anything better than could be done about it? Is there any specific event that you think it'd be good to have permanently implemented? Let me know in the comments, and as always, remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching and see you next time!